Now you brought some photos, so I guess why don't you share some of those with us?
Sure.
And kind of tell us what each thing is and
okay, and
what it means and what its relevance is.
We recently we're always looking for something, and so recently we came across several pictures that we were not looking for. This apparently is a picture of when the Saenger was first opened. There was a series.
What we may do is if we can hold them vertical, it's easier for the camera to get them like that, and we'll share them. Okay, so go ahead, tell us what this is.
So this is very scratched, so you can tell that the negative wasn't in the best of condition. But it's a picture of all the windows and doors and the entry points and the
kind of where they take the tickets right there.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
And it's not dated, but we know it's old. So everything is a mystery, and we would love to know more about it, but that's a starter. Okay, so this one's upside down, but
so good.
We think this was when, right after urban renewal. So every time you look at a picture, it's like a picture puzzle. When was it taken and all this stuff. So we see that urban renewal has already filled in the Rue Marché. It's already called the Barks Building, so it had to be probably in the 80s. But if you look at the Saenger, every picture that you look at looks very much alike.
All you have to do is just look for people with big hair.
Yes, and we don't have one of those, unfortunately. So we're going to go back in time a little bit, probably maybe the 30s, 40s. And if you look at this picture, it says Saenger down the street. Well, look how narrow that street is. So we're talking about Raynor. We're talking about single lane at the, and we're looking at how tight the buildings are. We also see the trolley car tracks and the bricks. So this is an amazing picture, but it was right in the middle of downtown. So this picture is definitely dated, and it's in black and white. So you're not going to see a whole lot of color pictures from that time period. Here's the interior of the Saenger, and we think this was taken when they were trying to do a renovation project around 1977. We're not sure.
But you said this has been renovated like 4 times?
Yes, several times. For different reasons, because of storms, because there was money, there was urban renewal and all this stuff. But look at the chandeliers that you don't see today. Mm-hmm. Look at the curtains, and look how just amazing it looks historically. So this picture might be a basis for restructuring the inside when they go to do all this.
So when they want to make it try to look like it did at one prior point in time, they can go, okay, use it as a little bit of a roadmap of sorts, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So here's a couple of other pictures we found in that same collection accidentally. It was in Camille Pictures, believe it or not. Had nothing to do with Camille, but these were a few of the slides we found. And here we go again with the chandeliers. Very simple candy counter, but the chandeliers are amazing, and I'd love to see that back in this building again. So
there's the front. Is this a post-storm photo?
Very much so. So probably, if you notice on the left side of the Saenger, there's actually a building there. If you go out there today, it's a parking lot. So probably in the 70s when they were trying to reconfigure the streets behind us and so forth. And we have the debris probably from the building next to it. Here's another picture of
another chandelier.
There we go. We need to have those again. And there's another interior picture.
Move that newspaper, good, unlike me.
If someone wants to,
that's quite the shot there.
And there's something on the stage here as well. So you get the curtains open. You get to see a little bit more of what's on stage. You get to see a little bit more of the sides, and you can see the rows of the seats.
I think I see my assistant producer Kyle back there. Yeah, I got the title right this time. I won't do it again.
This is cool because this is probably during urban renewal. If you look at this building today, it doesn't look like that. So what they're doing in urban renewal, they covered up the bricks, the original bricks on the buildings, and they put the plastic and all the facade and all this.
They just put a facade on it.
And you could see the process, but guess what? They didn't mess with the Saenger. Thank goodness.
Mm-hmm. Funny thing is, I think my grandmother had that exact same color and car.
So here we have a map, and we have these in our library system, which is amazing. Maps done by a fire insurance company all over the United States. This particular map is important because it shows the Saenger Theater probably about 1929, right after it was open. It's got addresses on it. There's some symbolic things in it as far as whether it was brick or wood or whatever. So there's a lot of information on these maps, but the important thing is it does show Saenger, and there's a little bit more information on the building itself, and it will tell you whether it's a night watchman or whatever.
Why do you think the Saenger itself is important to the local community?
The Saenger is probably one of the most amazing buildings here. When you think about it, this is probably the only building that everyone went to. Okay, if we have all these historic buildings nearby. We have churches, we have other things. A lot of the movie theaters are not here anymore. And if it's a church, not everybody goes to that church, right? City Hall is, oh God, amazing if you've been inside of it. And it's old and it's well cared for. But you don't go to City Hall unless you have a problem or a meeting or something like that. So this is the building that everybody went to, whether it was a symphony, a concert, Johnny Rivers came here, you can see that, whether it was a movie years ago, dance recitals, I mean, it just goes on and on. This is the place. That's why it's so important that we keep it. It's not only about the building, but it's about the memories and the culture.
And bringing them all back.
Sure, exactly the way it was.
Jane, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we will be right back.